Good afternoon, all. Camelback Trading 2724 coming to you this Monday afternoon, April 6th. We're looking at the market profile of the SPY ETF here on Window Trader. First things first, we had a bad tick, as you can clearly see, all the way down at the 248 and change level. The low on the day is 256.73 and the gap held. I've tried to fix them on the charts. Hopefully, it will reflect that when we get to them. Very, very impressive day for the bulls. After having trouble, right? We had 3 days of balance, although we were one time framing up. And then we had those 4 days that we couldn't get through with the void above us and the vacuum. Well, today we gap higher. Don't look back. Take out the 3 days of balance. Take out the 4 days of balance. And start moving into that void to the 271 level. We close above those 4 days. Volume, 166 million. Now, it's certainly lighter than the average of 263. We'll end up doing, say, 180. But still a lot better than Fridays, where that B-shape push by the sellers really failed. And that volume was only 136 million. So that's pretty impressive. Is it warranted to be up here? That's not for me to say. I just trade market-generated information, right? Algorithms right now, short-term traders are in control. They're taking this market up. You trade what the market is telling you to trade. Had a good day today. Did a lot more trading than I usually do, but it was a good day. So A period open on the gap. I said I didn't want to do anything right away. It was too big a gap. I didn't short it either, though. I said I was possibly thinking about shorting it at the price spike from the 31st. We opened there, went right above it. I did not. What I did do, we got below the opening. As soon as we got back above the opening, I went long, rode it up, had a nice trade there. Now, B period open, started shooting up on some poor structure, so twice I scalped shorts because of that. That and the fact that with the market was already up almost 5% at the time, wanted them to prove to me if we would have single prints. So I just scalped them quickly. Nothing big and didn't hold them for too long, but they held. Now, what was interesting is C period stopped the one-time framing up rather quickly. I would not have expected that, right? And that's the reason I shorted in B. I'm like, well, we didn't really have an inventory adjustment. We're up almost 5%. Maybe we are going to pull back into that gap again. Well, once C took out B's low, I thought maybe that would happen, but we got nothing, and I mean nothing to the downside as soon as we got back into B's range. I took a long again, took it out. Now again, I'm in, what am I in? I'm in 15 tick increments, so they're a lot bigger moves than I'm showing on here, obviously. I did nothing in D, and then in E period, when E period took out D's high, got long, twice scalped it. The second time, I really thought we'd pop the top, scalped it really nicely up there. When we had come back in, bought it, and then when we popped B's high, it was a nice trade. F period. This time I shorted it. Again, we had a chance. We did end up with a trend day, and we did have single prints, which incredibly held. We had 3 sets at one point. We had one that held for 3 cents. We weren't getting a lot of distance at the time. So in F period, I shorted it, took it off when we came down. I did it again in G. I did it again in K period. I didn't do anything in I and J. I was looking for an afternoon pullback low. And let me tell you, I was a big head fake, and I almost got caught in it. I took out H's low, thought for sure we were going to fill the single prints. Was about to get short, then we went right back up and made a new high. So that kind of threw me a curveball, so I waited it out. Same in J, we came down, but couldn't fill them. So in K period, I thought for sure, we were going to fill single prints. I got short when it went up, didn't take out J's high. It was a good trade. In fact, I scalped it once or twice, and again in L, because I didn't think in L we would fill the single prints anymore. That's for sure. Once K, I didn't think we would. Now I was looking for longs. I did a quick short in L. I was hoping M pulled back and did what it's done recently, which would be to take out L's low and then go higher. It didn't. It took out the high first. Even though the 350 algo exploded to the upside, I did not play along. I had a good day. Wasn't going to get involved. It didn't come back to the level that I wanted to buy it, so I watch. No harm, right? So it turned out to be a good day and an impressive day for the bulls. It actually looked, even though it was a trend day, when you look at it, if you take out M, it looked like sort of a P shape, even though we had the 3 cents of single prints. But with M blowing it out of the water and the trend day, I am not going to call it that. All right, destinations for tomorrow. First one on the upside will be today's high of 267. Right now, they sold off decently. We closed at 264.86. So we sold off over $2 from the high. Then we don't have anything at 271.08. That's that daily high that I've been telling you about. That's the void. I can't imagine we don't get it at some point this week. And then above that, we don't have anything to 280.74, which is an afternoon rally high from March 11th. And then 281.94, a daily high. So there is some void to the upside, which is incredible for the bulls to be able to get back what they gave back early last month. Now, for the downside, we go out with a price pro. We made a new high in the last half hour. And a price spike, because when L took out I's high, it counted as a spike. Now, they are fairly close together, but I'm going to give you both of them. The real important one will be L's high of 263.15. That's where buyers were. You want to see us trading above that tomorrow morning. So 263.15, if that's a bull, that is. Then below that, we have the price spike of 262.96. So they're within 19 cents of each other. So tomorrow morning, if we're opening somewhere around here, you can take a long position because you certainly know you're out. We're only 7 wide. Below that, we don't have anything then. To the single prints, they start at 261.27, get filled at 24. Only 3 cents. And then we have today's low of 256.73, and then filling the gap at 253.22. 351-point gap. So we finally filled that huge gap to the upside, and now we have a big one to the downside. Now, let's go to our charts. I'll just show you the weekly and the daily. So I'm going to give kudos to the bulls, and I am now going to say we are one time framing up in the weekly, one time framing up 3 weeks. So the monthly is still down, one time framing down, but right now the intermediate term to me is now one time framing up for 3 weeks with nothing standing in its way to the 271 level, and then believe it or not, really nothing in its way, incredibly, up to the next weekly high, which is up at 288.52, and then fill in that gap. Incredible. There's a possibility, right? My very, very favorite and visual level, that 287 level, that it's been important to me since January of 2018. We might see it again sooner rather than later. There's really nothing stopping us from getting there. So that'll be interesting. So we're one time framing up in the weekly, and then in the daily, right? My main focus was this gap and this gap. Well, this gap's gone. So now our main focus is both downside for now, here and here. We won't talk about that 288 one up there unless we really get some more movement to the upside. However, the bulls, after a 4-day balance and then pushing lower, and then after a 3-day balance, they don't only just take out this balance, they take out this one. Very impressive, and are up. So right now the weekly is up and the daily is up, with the gap being my main focus. So right now the bulls have control of the ball. Everything's in their court. We'll see if they can, this short week, get up at least to that 271 level. I hope you had a good day trading. Have a great night, and we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.